actually got a really interesting request in, I think it was Italy about a week or two ago, for a creator who didn't want her content to be recommended to men. She's like,
Please tell us more.
yeah. So, because
That's sad.
we always think creators mostly ask us, how do I get more reach, right?
Yeah.
How do I
Yeah.
get more recommendations? And she's like, yeah, but I just want a setting just to turn off the ability, or just turn off recommendations to men.
Hi guys, welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani.
I'm Naina Bhan.
And today,
Adam Mosseri from Instagram.
Are you going to boost our engagement?
we've
Oh,
come
just
to
all
pray
day
to
long.
you. The Instagram gods. We're like praying through you to get our engagement up.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. India's become an incredibly important country for us. So just happy to get some time here on the ground.
We're happy to get that journey started with a
Yes.
game.
I would love to explain the game. So now Indian Instagram has its own like slang, and we want you to help us decode the slang. We're gonna ask you like what this means. If you get it right, you get a sweet Indian treat, and if you get it wrong, you get a spicy one.
Okay, I'm going to eat a lot of spicy food, but it's okay.
Can you handle spice well?
I don't know.
We'll find out. Okay. The first one, I'll give you options.
Okay.
The first thing is paglu. Either it means hater or obsessed.
I'm going to say, I'm just guessing now. Hater.
It means obsessed.
Okay, let's eat something spicy.
We can give you like examples as well. So this is the spicy section.
Okay.
Should we start with the chips?
What's the most spicy?
Maybe these.
Yeah.
This is an iconic Indian.
It's called magic masala.
It looks like a potato chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, were you doubting?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be crazy spicy.
No.
No,
I'm
it's just
hungry.
like chill spicy.
This is the most iconic thing out of India in terms of like snack food.
I would argue it's that.
Yeah?
But we'll find out. You might get to try it. I can use it in a sentence for you also. The next one is jugaad. It's either a dance move or a clever hack.
Okay, use it in a sentence.
At my cousin's wedding, my uncle had a jugaad for everything.
What was it? A dance move, or what was the other one?
Or a hack.
Wow, your uncle would have a hack or a dance move for everything? Those are both kind of interesting. I'll say clever hack.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
You want to
Okay.
try the silver thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Wait, are you allergic to nuts?
No.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Just like, I go into shock on the camera.
The views would be crazy.
So this
I
is
can
like
pretend.
a dry fruit.
It's cashew.
Yeah.
It's like a cashew paste.
Yeah. Like a
like
pudding.
a barfi.
Looks delicious. What'd you call it?
Just try it.
I'm using more Indian words to describe it.
It's really tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we eat this a lot on Indian festivals.
It's made from cashew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just because we're so extra, we always put some kind of like silver, gold
As you
leaf
should.
on top. Yeah.
In the Middle East, we have halva, which is not made from cashews, but it's a similar consistency.
Very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so you're familiar.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if I were you, I would try to get most of them right because the sweet snacks are better.
We can just eat them.
Yeah,
No.
we can.
We have to make everything hard. I'm so sorry.
Let's do one last round, then we can do a taste
Sure.
test.
Okay. I want you to tell me what you think dhinchak means.
Please use it in a sentence.
Okay, it either means feeling down bad or loud and flashy.
It sounds like down and bad.
Use it in a sentence.
My sentence is very ambiguous.
As was the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm guessing. It sounds like down and bad, but I feel like counterintuitively, the languages are so different. I'll say flashy.
You know, that's why you're the CEO of Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
I'm just guessing.
Okay,
What is this?
This is a sweet. It's, how do I explain without using other Indian words?
It's
You can use other Indian
it's
words.
like flour. Flour.
It's like flour, deep fried flour balls that are in like
sugar syrup.
paste. Yeah, sugar syrup.
Yeah.
Flour.
I mean, suddenly I don't know how to speak.
I
in
was going to
English.
say chashni, which is also an Indian Hindi
It's
word.
almost like a donut,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like soaked in sugar.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
really health
very
conscious.
decadent. Yeah, very, very. It's like completely soaked.
Yeah.
With sugar.
Do you want a tissue?
No, I'm good.
Do you want to try anything else? We
I
won't
want-
ask you questions.
Yeah, please. What's your favorite on the table?
So, my favorite, and I think maybe Sakshi's also, is this.
Laddu.
This is also sweet.
This is
Yes.
also sweet. I would suggest having a little bit of it, but this is what every Indian kid gets after like a festival, and you steal extras because it's just so tasty.
Can you eat some too? I feel like
Yeah.
I'm eating all
Sure.
the food.
Okay, wait. We can wait. I'm gonna.
So that's how you do it. You just
Yeah,
pinch
you
a
can
little
just
piece
like
off.
pinch a little piece.
You can
out.
also have the whole thing.
I would not
Don't
recommend having the
stress.
whole thing.
It's very dense.
It's also like made with ghee.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's quite
Do you want to keep it
decadent.
back down?
I can see how kids would steal a bunch.
Do you
Yeah.
think your kids would be all over this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for my middle one. He doesn't like sweets very much.
You want to put in this?
Yeah, put it here. I have 3 boys, and
Okay.
the middle one is more into vegetables. Very strange.
Oh,
But
I
the
love
9-year-old
that.
and the 5-year-old love their sweets.
I love that. Are they on Instagram?
No, they're too young. They're too
When
young.
will they come onto the app?
13, probably.
Yeah?
We'll see. That's how you have to be 13 to use the app. But they're 9, 7, and about to be 5. So
oh, too young for
it's way too
Instagram.
young.
Yeah.
They're crazy though.
Yeah.
I'm always really intimidated by parents who have to raise boys because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
they have energy that doesn't make sense.
No, it's like a circus or a zoo at the house. It's nuts. They wake up, they're fighting all the time, they're rolling around, jumping on everything. I call them my little monkeys because they're just chaotic all the time.
Are you going to take them anything back from India?
I should. Do you have any recommendations?
Huh. I mean, any of the sweet food
Yeah.
would definitely be like friendly.
I
Yeah.
think the cashew one will sit well.
I shouldn't give
In-
them some spicy something just to.
Why not?
You know, if they can handle it.
I don't know. We see. They're a little upset that I'm traveling so much for work lately, so I should bring them something back. Maybe the sweets. I think they would like the cashew.
So Kim Kardashian was in India, I think 2 months ago, and she went on the streets like there's this area in like 20 minutes away, and she got her kid this doll of like
Naruto.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what her kid thought about it.
Which was
but
the
that
least
the-
Indian thing to bring back, so let's
I
not
was
go
gonna
there.
say. I don't know if I
Yeah.
understand the
But
reference.
she was so excited about it.
Yeah, well, all right. We'll see. My kids like cars and food, so I think food will be the easier thing to travel with than
Yeah.
like toy cars.
You can
I-
take a whole rickshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would love
If you could just take a
ride,
rickshaw,
just driving around San Francisco, honking.
that would be really cool, actually.
Yeah. It would be a big moment for India as a country.
Yeah. Wear a cricket jersey, get
Yeah.
a rickshaw,
Yeah.
drive my kids around.
The internet would break.
Yeah.
We're always very excited when anything with India becomes global.
Yeah.
And I know Instagram, like, we use the reels the most, I think, as Indians. So,
I think so, yeah. It's pretty wild.
yeah. Is there any, like, global trend that's hit from India that you remember?
I don't know about any specific trends, but there are definitely things that are different here. Reels usage is really high. One interesting detail is, so it sounds technical, but scroll speed. So how fast people scroll is much higher here
Really?
Yeah.
than most of the rest of the world.
Why do you think that would be?
I don't know. I just think there's like a ferocious appetite for content, just to like.
Me with a 20-hour screen time would agree.
But it's how quickly you just go boom, boom, boom
I
through
mean,
it.
I also watch all my reels in 2x because if it's longer than 5 seconds, I'm
Oh,
you know,
really?
I'm the
I can't.
Indian
It
that's
just
like,
stresses me out.
yeah, it's too much.
I have to tell you, okay, so one day we show up for coffee and Sakshi is so excited. She's like, you will not believe what Instagram did. They have enabled me to watch
2x.
this reel in 2x.
It was
And-
recent.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's 20 seconds. Just make it through.
No, it can be done in 10 seconds. But that's a new feature for Instagram.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
4x coming?
Nah, I can talk to the team.
Can you just have it just like download
In
in
my
your
Yeah,
head?
exactly. Just
Yeah.
like 50x, just
Yeah.
That would be great. But is there any like new feature coming to the market that we should be excited about?
things. I mean, I don't have anything I can announce. I mean, the thing that just launched that I'm really excited about right now is Edits. Edits is for not just editing videos, but for creators, keeping track of your ideas, getting inspired, and then yes, capturing and creating video, and then seeing how they did. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully, supporting creatives here in the country. But there's a lot to do.
Yeah. I have to say that Instagram in the last decade, the way it's empowered a lot of people across India, across different like fields. We've got real estate creators, we've got law creators, we've got spiritual creators, we've got comedy, women on the internet with no agenda other than just making jokes.
Not adding value.
No value was added in this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, but it's honestly, it's insane. Like, I have to thank Instagram for my entire life, and to be sitting in this room with you is such a full circle moment. Do you see, did you ever envision Instagram to take this way to India?
Not to this degree. I mean, we've always been excited about the potential to empower more creative voices, right? Allow anybody to find an audience if you've got something fun or interesting to say. But I think the scale here in India has been just remarkable and really humbling. I mean, we're talking about just many, many hundreds of millions of users using the app really actively, sharing more, consuming more. It's been just breathtaking, really. I think we always had a lot of faith that we could grow and be big, but not quite this big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was also, I think, the first market for Reels to launch, right?
Yeah, we launched Reels, the Reels tab specifically first. But Reels at this point are integrated throughout the whole app, right? You see them in feed, people send them in messages all the time.
Yeah.
That's actually a lot of how Instagram direct messages work, is people send each other videos and then they start having conversations about those interests or then about whatever else is going on in their life.
Yeah.
Obviously the Reels tab, creation tools, all of it.
What was cool for us was, I think, initially there were a lot of like foreign trends that we would try to as consumers ape or mimic, but now each country has its own specific unique culture, and it's made us very like alive to our like identity as Indians in a big way. Even like words like paglu and things like that, as silly and frivolous as they may seem, have now unified like an Indian youth in a way that never happened before.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of differences in different countries. In most of what we see people in India use Instagram for is to consume Indian content. There is some consumption of international content, whether it's from the US or elsewhere. Some countries do more exporting. Some countries do more importing of content, so to speak. It's sort of cultural differences. But India is so large and so culturally vast and rich and diverse that there seems to be a sort of a self-sustaining aspect to how Instagram works here, which is just exciting to see.
Are there any kind of metrics or data that you could help us with when you look at the Indian market?
That I can share publicly, probably not, but I can give directional.
Yeah, sure, directional.
So definitely, people scroll faster, they spend more time, they message more, and they certainly are much more focused on video and on Reels.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a huge part of the dating scene as well, like the sending a DM or replying to stories.
It's an excuse to reach out to your crush, right? You can reply to a story or send them a reel that you find without having to cold text someone and ask them out.
But I'm so clueless now because there are all these like micro signals that I didn't catch up on.
Yeah.
So like if somebody's viewing my story at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was...
That's a
and
thing.
then she had to like explain it to me, and I felt so old.
I mean, I haven't been in the dating scene for a really long time, so I'm sure I don't have any of this.
There's some like follow, unfollow.
Yeah, to resend the follow notification.
Yeah.
Some people use the close friends list.
Yeah.
As
I
like
just
a
have
signal.
one person in my close friends list
And
that
it's
I
not
post
me,
for.
so we'll have a conversation after this.
Yeah, but some people will use that as a way to signal to their crush that they're interested.
That's quite great. I mean, so I know your father's a psychologist.
Yeah, he's a psychotherapist and just parental consulting, marriage counseling, all sorts of stuff.
So do you ever kind of break down Instagram over like a drink or something when you're sitting at home with your father, or look at how almost it mimics life and the way it's evolving?
Not more. If I do that with my dad, it's more about people, right? Because I mean, I manage a lot of people, and so sometimes I've talked to him. No, I don't try to psychoanalyze people who work for me, but I try to understand people's motivations and how to show up, how to communicate effectively. My dad is very emotionally intelligent. He's very charming. He's very well spoken, and so I've learned a lot from him. So I try to get advice from him on how to show up at work.
That's actually something that we saw in a lot of your interviews. You were super open and acknowledging the different ways that you can like use your team, motivate people, reorganize people within an organization. And Instagram and Meta might be one of the dream companies for people to work at. Do you struggle with Gen Z employees?
That's not where I thought this question was going. You just set me up.
I was also wondering where this would go.
I had to slip it in there.
I mean, look, there's amazing things and difficult things about managing any generation. For Gen Z employees, I think they're passionate. They are excited about what we do. They understand platforms like Instagram really well. And so, those are the things that I think they bring to work that make things easier. But they're also have really high expectations, have strong reactions to things at times, have spent less time in the workforce, so they have less experience sometimes with going through some of the challenges that companies inevitably go through over time. You grow, you shrink, you grow, you shrink. If you've never been in a company that shrunk before, it can be really hard. So, pros and cons.
Yeah.
Are there some resume red flags that you could help?
We're applying secretly the podcast.
No, I mean, I think it's really hard to get a good read on someone from their resume. And you need time with someone, and ideally references. That matters more than anything else. I mean, little red flags, like if you switch companies every 5 months for like 5 or 6 companies, that's probably like a bad sign. But in general, I try not to read too much into a resume, and try to talk to people who've worked with the person before. And if that doesn't happen, if that's not possible, have the person talk to a bunch of different employees and get their take.
So putting a fire emoji on a hiring call is not the move. No.
That's fine. I love emojis. A good emoji is great.
Okay, on the flip side, I know that you've kind of moved laterally, right? You started as a product designer.
You did some research.
I'm as like Naina sent me all this research, but we like have a partnership where I just bring the vibes. So I'm also learning more about you right now.
So I do, and so to give you a little context, I studied history, then I studied film, and now I am an actor and a content creator. So my life has gone all over the place.
Yeah.
But I always like to recognize people beyond their resumes or their immediate skill set that they've studied. And when somebody's coming in to get hired, what is something that they could say, or what is it that you look for in them that's beyond the resume?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. But I want to ask you some questions about switching from history to film later.
Yeah.
Okay, so it depends on the role. But if you're talking about things that are almost always helpful or a positive side, I think that if someone has 3 qualities, and they can usually do anything eventually, right? So if they have some sort of hustle, or like they a real motivation, if they are a quick learner, and if they have some level of humility or self-awareness, then you can usually get them to whatever you need to get them to in terms of capabilities, right? Because they're going to work hard, they're going to learn quickly, and they're going to listen to the feedback. Then that's going to be universally a good thing. So that to me applies no matter what the role is. But then for other roles, it really depends, right? If you're hiring someone for a leadership role, you're talking about organizational leadership, and are they inspirational? Are they effective communicators? Where that might not be as important if you're, a programmer, for instance. But those 3 I always look for.
I have a question. You know the Instagram thing that's like the guy, the CEO who's putting his face in like the ice, waking up at 4 a.m., jumping in the pool at 4:01. Are you familiar with that?
No, who's
reel?
this?
Oh my God, I have to show you, but there's this guy
Can you
who
just
has
DM him to me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do you check your DMs?
I do. There's a lot
Yeah.
of them, but I will make sure I follow you so you can slide right in there.
No, but there's this guy who has this really intense, like, if you want to hustle, you have to wake up at 3:59, and then he has this really intense, like 5 to 9 before his 9 to 5.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
These sort of like biohacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your vibe at all?
More than I'd like to admit. I don't get up at 4:49. I get up whenever my kids wake me up in the morning. But I do try really hard to stay healthy because I think that if I'm going to show up the way I want to show up both at work but also at home,
Yeah.
I need to have energy. And so to have energy, I try to focus on things like sleep and exercise and eating well.
Yeah, I would imagine because
Same.
you're like all over the place, right? You're in India today, you're in New York day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's so disorienting.
It is very disorienting.
Do you, what is like the short way to success in that kind of
I
setup?
Crazy.
don't. I think there's no easy way. I do think sleep matters a lot. It's kind of a
Yeah.
boring answer, but
Do you track your sleep?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
You know, I've noticed that as soon as anyone like reaches any level of success, they get very obsessed with their sleep quality.
Yeah.
And I don't care about my sleep quality, but because I know that successful people do it, I'm like, oh, I need my 8 hours.
I have to say my hot take, and let me know what you guys feel about it. There's this whole conversation about burnouts.
Yeah.
I think burnouts are essential.
Yeah.
And the younger you are, the more you should have like micro burnouts.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can really test your endurance and build for something bigger.
Controversial.
I kind of like that
Thoughts?
hot take.
Of course.
But I mean, I will say this. I do think when you're early on in your career, having that's the time to really try to push hard, learn as much, get as much done as you can, because your energy levels go down every decade.
Yeah.
I also think it's very healthy, no matter how old you are, to go through ebbs and flows, to push hard for a few months and then to get to a more sustainable pace for a few months, because you don't want to just cruise, but you can't burn the candle at both ends so
Yeah.
long that you completely sort of fall over. So
Do you remember a time when you were kind of at the edge where you were burning out and
many times.
He's like, right now.
it's done, I'm over?
No, stay awake. You have to buy the Naruto doll for your kids.
No. I used to work a lot of hours. Actually, the thing that helped the most there was having kids.
Oh, yeah?
Because you just can't. I would leave the house at 6:30, and I'd get back at 7 or 8 at night. And if I did that now, I wouldn't see the kids at all.
Yeah.
It's not an option.
We haven't reached that level in the game of our
He'll
lives.
come in the way
Yeah.
of my screen time.
Yeah, I know.
Having
They
kids.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
They definitely do that.
So I have to tell you, the Indian Instagram or the Indian internet is a wild place. I don't know how much you see of that. Our favorite part of the internet, it's also our most feared part of the internet, is Indian trolling.
The
Oh.
comments.
The
The
comments.
comments. That's an issue in general. We're still trying to get that under control because
Yeah.
it can be aggressive.
Yeah, but there are some true artists who
Yeah.
their literal main job is to leave a comment so lethal, so dank that you cannot help but engage and like.
And
No,
it's so regional.
Just out of respect.
Just out of respect,
Just
I'm
like, oh, you thought of
Yeah,
that?
that's
Crazy.
insane.
Oh my god! Do you know? So not for the most likable, angry comments, but do either of you know Restrict?
Yes.
I
we
find
use it
that-
all the time.
It was designed for teens
Yeah.
who are targets of bullying, but
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing tool for creators.
You know, there are some millennial women who might be in this room with us who use Restrict a lot.
Yeah.
I love it's my favorite feature. I think I've spoken about it a few times because the person who's hating thinks they're getting through to you,
I
but
know.
they're screaming into a void.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
But there are some like Indian trolling terms that became really viral.
So teach me some.
So one is like, suppose somebody's done something, like suppose someone's created a dance reel, but the dance is not super great. They say, nice dance, don't do it again. Or nice song, keep it
Nice-
to yourself.
nice-
Nice hidden talent, keep it to yourself.
Keep it hidden. Yeah.
Hidden. Oh my god.
And the level of like micro trends, even within the way you use the app, is something that I think we sit and we talk about like real anthropologists and sociologists over like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
cognac. We were like,
Yeah.
today on the news.
Nice
Yeah.
hidden talent. Keep it hidden.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is.
You don't even want to restrict that, because that's like,
No, that's the gem. Those are the gems.
yeah.
This happens less so, but my brother used to always send me those. He would look at the angry comments on my posts, and then the ones he thought were the best, he would send me.
You were memed once.
More than once.
More than once, but there was this one iconic
In the
time.
yellow hoodie.
Yeah, in the yellow
Yeah.
jumper.
What does it feel
There was
like?
multiple yellow. There was the Minion one.
Yeah.
There was a banana, I
The
think.
bumblebee.
The bumblebee. There was
Yeah.
like a couple.
What does it feel like to be
meme.
facing heat on the internet?
I used to work on on the Facebook app for a long time,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of heat. I was running a newsfeed for 5-10 years, and so I got used to. I built up a thicker skin over time. That one was rough though. That week was pretty rough because I even had the Daily Show just did they pretended to be me and just made me out to be a complete ass. And that was at the end of like 7 memes that week, and my wife like doesn't notice any of this
Yeah.
stuff. She spends a lot of time on Instagram, but it's all, fashion, beauty, architecture.
Yeah.
She doesn't even see my stuff.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the week, I was like, she's like, oh, did something happen to you this week? And I'm like watching the Daily Show just rip me apart. And I was like, no, babe, it's fine.
Me minion.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, you have to just kind of roll with it. You have to realize, you're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, would I think this was mean if it wasn't me? And or am I just being sensitive? You try to put it in perspective.
It's both.
It's both.
For the
Yeah.
record. But I think for us, no, you were saying something.
I was saying the algorithm really hits the spot. Like it's what, the algorithm knows me better than I know myself. So I'll be looking at something and I'll be feeling so down bad about it. And then it'll show up on my feed. And out of respect that this has shown up on my feed, I just have to like double tap that. It's so sad.
I don't know if I like this. We want it to be a positive thing.
It is a really positive.
It's amazing.
Listen, it gives us our careers. It gives us our entertainment. We are no one. We don't have love. We don't hug. We send each other DMs. We
Yeah.
send each other reels.
Memes, yeah.
Memes is the most intimate.
Yeah.
That's your love
touch.
language?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I leave a my sister's in London. I leave a trail under reels I know that she would send me, leaving some really strange comments so that she finds
She finds them?
And she sends them. She's like, what's wrong with you? I said, this was for you, babe.
We're also getting to the next step in our relationship with the Instagram blend.
Ooh, can we talk about blend?
Yes.
We've been talking about blending our feet.
Oh, yeah. So it's such an interesting
Yeah.
insight into some. So one is, if you don't know what blend is, it allows you to have a Reels feed for both of you. Or actually, you could have a group chat and have one.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's kind of what you would expect. It's like, oh, like I knew you were going to be into, football or fashion or whatever it was. But other people, you're like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
My buddy Connor has tuned his Instagram algorithm to be the weirdest little corners of the internet. They're not violent or creepy, or they're just very strange.
Yeah.
And so we started to blend months ago because he works at Instagram. Oh, he used to work at Instagram. He works at Meta. And I would always check it and be like, stop looking at my reels. Those are my reels. And I'd be like, you said yes.
No, I'm excited for this because Naina has like 30 to 45 second reels and I have 5-second reels and
Watching it double time.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Just to place in front of you as a case study, there's a 5-year difference between us.
Okay.
And you can see it in terms of our interaction
You
with
didn't
the
like, she just gave
No,
you a bad look.
I was wondering. I was like,
No,
where
I'll
is
tell
it
you.
going?
I'll
But
tell
I
you
got
where
it.
it's going.
Okay.
So
It's going to be some Gen Z haze.
no, this is literally. So I like to, or I'm fed reels that have at least 2-sentence captions
Yeah.
or POV, blah blah blah. She gets only 1 sentence because if it hits the second, she's
I'm
out.
out. Yeah. I'm so out. But yeah, I think that is like I also get the ones that are a reel, but it's a picture with a song and like
Yeah.
3 words. I read
I'm
so
out.
much that day.
Yeah, we do. Those are a small percentage. If you're getting the photos, it's a
Yeah.
small, it's a couple percent.
Yeah.
I've built it brick by brick.
That's like, it's just like, that's the shortest possible video is just one photo.
I'm really sure there was a Gen Z employee that suggested this
Yeah,
change.
exactly.
Like make it faster.
Yeah.
No, but when I create content as well, because I'm a content creator actually.
Oh.
No, yeah. I was telling you off camera, I was one of the first 10 people in India to get reels. So
Which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was amazing for me because I feel like I've watched it from the get-go because in the beginning there were like 3 creators you could watch on reels
Yeah.
and now there's like I don't even I don't even have to like follow anyone if I don't want to. Like everything I want I just have to think it and the algorithm will know.
Not quite that far, but yeah. But we launched 2 versions of Reels before this one that didn't work. The first one was long form, and it was we called it IGTV. And then we launched another version of Reels built on top of stories, and that didn't work because stories disappeared, so they didn't stick around for long enough. So this is our third try.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I want to ask if there's any other like IGTV is no longer a thing, even though you can make longer reels now.
Yeah.
Is there any old feature that might be making a comeback this year?
Ooh, not that I can think of. I worry that Instagram is getting too complicated, and so we should remove features that aren't used by that many people. But it's very hard because even if only 1% of people use it, that's tens of millions of people, and they get really mad when you take it away.
Actually, that brings me to ask, how do you take feedback? Because I'm sure there's like information coming in from every corner of the universe.
Yeah.
So how do you decide what works and what doesn't work?
A number of different ways, but then you should give some feedback. What
Sure.
features you want to have a comeback, or what features you don't like, or
You
you do
know,
want.
it's the messiest tab, but when you can see what your following list can do.
Oh, the activity thing.
Yeah.
People.
We missed
I'm
it.
begging.
People got so mad when we removed it, but it was like 0.1% of people used it, but they were very, very
But they were the
good.
best people on the
Yeah.
internet, I would argue.
Well, we have something kind of like it now with on the Reels tab, you have the little likes at the top right, so
Yeah.
you can see what the Reels that your friends like.
Yeah, I've been I like something and then I immediately unlike it because I'm like my
Oh,
followers will know.
That's the issue with
Yeah.
it. That's the balance.
Oops.
Can you
Sorry.
figure out like how I can track what my crush likes or what my ex likes?
No,
Okay.
can't do. You gotta,
Just
you give
asking.
it just asking for a friend.
I love the one where you can go into like someone you follow and then you see like you guys' interaction.
Yeah.
That's such a niche feature, but I'm like
Get deep in it. Yeah, really deep.
Listen, I'm telling you, we're the,
You're like,
cognac
yeah.
sociologists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We should do some deep digging. You said how do you parse through the feedback? We do feedback in multiple different ways. One is we look at just the data. How are people using things? If 1 out of 1 million people uses something, we do a lot. We do a lot of surveys. So we ask people questions in the app about what they like and don't like and how they feel. We do one-on-one research where we have researchers travel around the world and talk to people. We look at the reports that people, bug reports, app store reports. I look at my DMs and my comments. They're pretty gnarly at times. But you try to find the signal and ignore the noise. But you try to take all the inputs and then find the good stuff and then react to the good stuff. And the stuff that is less valuable, you try to let slide.
Interesting. And so within the organization as well, do you see a change in terms of feedback with your like female employees and your male employees? Are there things that women saw relating to like safety and feedback that they brought in as a new perspective? Or
we hear a little bit more of a distinction with creators than with employees.
Okay.
We do get some interesting ideas and requests from women creators, or often we'll have things already, like we have restrict, obviously. You can put limits on your account. Hidden words is a really powerful tool that I feel like not enough people use or know about. I actually got a really interesting request in, I think it was Italy about a week or two ago, for a creator who didn't want her content to be recommended to men. She's like,
please tell us more.
So, because we always think creators mostly ask us, how do I get more reach, right?
Yeah.
How do I get more recommendations? And she's like, yeah, but I just want a setting just to turn off the ability, or just turn off recommendations to men.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never even thought of that, because normally we're thinking about things in the other direction. So I don't know if we'll build that or not. I'll talk to the team about it, but some limited ways where you could pick who you want your content to be recommended to and who you might not want to be growing an audience with, I think could be really powerful.
Honestly, like that was going to be our feedback as well, because the internet is really fun when it's like women engaging with women. Even when you do like get ready with me reels or something like that, it's just fun. You're just trying to have fun, and then it's always like there's like this aftertaste of someone saying something to you that's not even for them, but it's suggested.
I do like, I feel like with the trials feature,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've used it yet, but I kind of test out like 2 different captions for my reels in the trial feature. And with that, I noticed that it's being recommended to more women. I don't know whether that's just because of my existing audience.
It's just because of, for whatever reason, it looks like your content is resonating more with women,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Yeah. But I talk about beer and football or
I mean, it's basically it's your audience, but it's more just who interacts with your content, whether or not your audience
Okay.
is whether or not they follow you or not. But the cool thing about trials is that you can see how things work and then decide if you want to upgrade them to your followers and to
Yeah.
your profile.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because I've without even knowing it, I got subconsciously kind of caged into what I thought my audience wanted.
Yeah.
And then now I have to sit back and figure out whether I want to make real estate content.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this could really be a future for me. Adam, why aren't you a creator?
I'm trying to be.
Actually, you have actually been
Yeah.
quite fair amount of usage.
Yeah.
We found your music playlists online.
No.
I'm not taking any responsibility for this.
Oh
Then
no, like on Spotify.
Yeah.
I have playlists on Spotify
Yes,
that
you
are
do.
public.
You have
yeah,
4.
all of them.
Well, are they?
They're really good.
Was it the Sunday one?
I think so. I don't remember the names, but they were really good. And
Well, my brother's a musician, so I probably stole his playlists and published them or
Yeah.
something.
no one needs to know who's better in that
Yeah.
family.
He's much more talented.
He's
Both my
also
siblings.
taking the screenshots of your comments.
Yeah, he is.
He's
he is.
busy.
He's busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I post a lot on Instagram, mostly about Instagram. Try to explain what we do, why we do it, new features, that kind of thing. But also because I think it's very helpful for me to understand what it's like to use the platform as a creator. It's
Yeah.
I remember about a year ago and change, my followers were going down, and I was like, oh, what do I do? And like I had to like rethink my whole strategy. I think that's humbling in a really good way.
Instagram CEOs, they're just
Yeah.
like us.
Is the shadow ban a myth?
So shadow banning means different things to different people, but usually people just use it to mean that they think they should be getting more reach than they're getting.
Yeah.
If there's an issue with your account, you can see that in account status. So if you go to profile, settings, account status, you can see anything taken down, are you not recommendable, that kind of thing. So there are instances where we'll stop recommending your account if it's not quite breaking the rules, but it's pushing the boundaries of the rules, but you'll be able to see it.
Okay. So it's not like there's a switch in the background that.
Yeah, some evil monkey behind the door just like saying no, yes,
Yeah.
no. No, it doesn't work
How
like
cool
that.
would it be if it was? you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to live in a world where it's that.
Just like some
just your-
random guy just like
Yeah. He like sees your face and he's like,
Yeah.
not this one.
yeah, exactly. No, that's not how it works.
No. Okay, that actually is my only question.
What's a song that brings you back to the dance floor?
Ooh, I don't know. It's my life is like my job and my kids. I don't get to dance very often. When I used to dance, it was probably back in like a long time ago when I lived in New York, it was probably a lot of like James Brown and that kind of thing.
Damn. I really respect you. So we would also like to pay you a compliment. We think you're one of the most fashionable CEOs
Yeah.
in the
Oh.
tech game. I don't think
No,
we
get
didn't
ready
notice.
with me.
Where
People in tech aren't really known for their fashion, so I
Yeah.
think it's a relatively
so you
low.
are a maverick in every sense of the
No,
term.
no.
What's something on your shopping cart that you haven't bought yet?
Ooh, oh my God. I've started to buy more clothes from Instagram. What have I bought yet? I don't know. I want like a really, this is going to sound like an old grandpa. I want like a really soft, oversized, really lovely cardigan. That's kind of crazy colors. That's kind of the thing I've been looking. I haven't found the right one.
I see the vision.
Any Indian brands who want
Oh
to
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Indian colors
Adam,
would be
yeah.
perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
You have, this comes after Adam leaves.
It's okay, just comment Adam.
I
we
like
love
sweaters.
You.
I have a lot of sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam sweater. What
Yeah.
size?
Extra large.
Extra large.
Extra large.
There you go.
No.
Support us.
I'm happy to
small
purchase them.
businesses.
I'm happy to purchase them. No, but I think like might not even be for like camera, but I just
Yeah.
think like a really cozy but really bright, fun, crazy
Yeah.
cardigan.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that tech has brought back barter collaboration.
Do you use Instagram for holiday recommendations, or is there any fun way that you use
Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah, so my wife and I have a shared collection called Spots. What we send places that we want to go to in the world to each other, and sometimes we get to go to them. And then I've started to save. I have one kid who really likes football, and so I started to save like football training videos, like how to do little dribbles and tricks like that, so that I can show them to him when he wants to like go deeper. So it's not vacations, but that's more like a way to connect with my son about his interests. So because he's too young to use Instagram, but I can show him some videos of some cool things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've connected with my mother through Instagram
Same.
a bunch.
Yeah.
Our feeds will never be the same, and
Yeah.
I never want it to be. But it's fun to get to see what she likes and and she gets like an insight into what I like. One really cool thing that happened was that there's a lot of like fashion creators in the LGBTQIA plus community, and actually my mom has kind of had that come into her feed, and she's a big fan.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, this is so cool because like conversations about the community are, I would say, like closed up in Indian families. So to see that change happen
That's so
through
cool.
using
Yeah.
Instagram is fun.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom sends me a lot of architecture and furniture design.
My mom sends me tricks she thinks my dog should know.
Nice.
Like, make him learn this. I'm like, okay. Yeah, but it's very cool because like there's there's, like,
Oh my God, the dog.
It's amazing.
The dog owner
Yeah.
community is wild.
like my dog knows how to do the hands up and bang bang because of reels.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
because
impressive. What's your dog's name?
Sushi.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to get him a Naruto doll as well.
So now when you look at Instagram and you see where it's come from, the first day when it was just to share pictures and now it's become like ingrained in everyone's life, what do you think the app stands for today?
My hope is creativity.
Okay.
And I don't mean creativity in the sort of professional goes on, a white wall in a museum sense of the word, but more sort of everyday creativity, right? There's things that are amazing all around us. Like, the food that we're eating today is kind of wild. Someone came up with these ideas, made these things amazing. So whether it's fashion or food or entertainment or music or digital natives and dance, I want us to be a place where people can express their creativity, and then others can not only enjoy that, but can connect with their friends about that, right? Because, maybe we've got some shared interests, maybe we have some different interests. And Instagram, I think, being a place where we can connect over those shared interests is part of what makes it magical.
That's so sweet and wholesome.
Yeah.
And do you ever look at Instagram and the way people use it almost in a philosophical way? Does it teach you anything about life when you go back?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, look, there's a lot of people. There's over 2 billion people use Instagram. And so when you're trying to manage something like that, you learn a lot. You learn about how important incentives are, right? Like, people are going to act in ways based on those incentives. So if you're trying to get more reach, they're going to do things that are going to get them more reach. So then we have to understand that and bear that in mind as we sort of try to embrace our responsibility. We also you learn a lot about how people change, right? The world is changing more and more quickly every year. The core things Instagram does, which is to connect you with friends and entertain you, they stay the same. But how people connect with friends and entertain themselves changes a lot, particularly over the last 10 years. And so there's that gives us reason to be reflective about what that means and how we can adapt. So lots of things.
Yeah, I think when I look at the way I consume content, I think it makes me understand myself or what I'm going through subconsciously. Like if I'm not engaging, sometimes I look at why I'm not engaging with that content, and does that say something about how I am or where I am in my life right now? And sometimes you see things that reflect, I mean, everyone is a mirror to how you're feeling inside, right? Some things may trigger you and some things may make you feel seen.
Yeah. And the same thing that might trigger you today might be really helpful for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Thanks, Instagram. Thank you, Adam. This was really fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. This food was particularly
Once
fun.
we cut, you can have all of it.
Oh, I just eat
Yeah.
all of it and then just go up and pass out for the rest of the day.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to your Indian consumer base?
Just really, really grateful for all of
Yeah.
the energy, all of the expression, all the creativity, for the time today, and for everybody who uses the platform making it what it is, or making it what it is.
Yeah.
Because we're nothing without the community. So I'm grateful.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you so much for doing
coming.
this.
Thank you. Yeah. I want to meet sushi. I want to see pictures of sushi.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.